Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 20th of June 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Today we're going to look at three stories. First, we're going to take a look at the summer Steam sale. Secondly, we're going to look at CSGO and Dota 2 as they have apparently been banned from using trading options in the Netherlands. And last of all, we're going to look at a statement made by an ex-online CEO from Sony about why Sony is blocking Fortnite users from the Switch from using their PlayStation Network linked accounts. But let's begin with the summer Steam sale, the most anticipated event by all gamers this summer. Well, I'm maybe slightly exaggerating, but many people are very much looking forward to this, including me. To be honest, if I can get my hands on some good games in the sale, I will use this option very happily. Very, very happily. So obviously, at this moment, we really don't know what exactly will go on sale, for what amount of a sale, and what exactly we will recommend to you. But thanks to the courtesy of Steam Database, which you can find at steamdb.info, we now know that the Steam Summer Sale is starting tomorrow. Yes, you heard me correctly. The Steam Summer Sale is starting just tomorrow. You don't have to wait any longer. The most awesome thing on PC gaming side of things is coming. Prepare your wallets as they will be raped by Gabe Newell. Really, that's what happens. So, this apparently happened thanks to, first to the appearance of Steam cards that were somewhat mysterious, but you may know that each sale comes with its own slew of Steam cards that can be later on traded, which appeared on the Steam database last week. And really, it's no big surprise that the Steam sale is coming at this date. And we know that usually the date leaks, and to be honest, the fact that they managed to keep it from leaking just one day before it actually happens is pretty impressive. Usually it was like a week or even a month before that happened. So the summer sale is coming. Prepare your wallet, prepare your fingers, prepare your wrists, because you will be playing a ton of games right as the summer is coming in. Okay, let's move on from the Steam Summer Sales. We really don't have much information about it at the moment. Let's venture into Europe, more specifically into the Netherlands, where the trading abilities for Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Defense of the Ancients 2 have been disabled. Why? Because of loot boxes. And I gotta say, well, on one hand, I'm pretty happy that finally we see some authorities cracking down on loot boxes. The way it is handled here doesn't fill me with much confidence. So, if you don't know the story, it goes back a few months when the Netherlands Gaming Authority took a look at some of the larger instances in the gaming industry and actually realized that they contradict their laws, their gambling laws. And that was because you could trade the things you get from these loot boxes for real world money, or some way to get access to something that will provide you with real world money. Here are the cases: you can trade these items on the Steam store, where you will get some money that you can use in the Steam store later on. And in the Netherlands, gambling is essentially defined as a game of chance that can win you money. This is a very rough definition. It's obviously not one that goes according to law, but essentially it is this. And as of today, when you are a Counter-Strike player or a Dota player and you live in the Netherlands, a message will appear when you launch Steam. So the message goes as follows. Dear Counter-Strike Global Offensive customers, or Dota 2 customers, place which one if you want. In May, we received 2 letters from the Dutch Kansspelautoriteit stating that Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Dota 2 contain loot boxes that violate the Dutch Betting and Gaming Act. The Kansspelautoriteit accusation is different from how other countries think about loot boxes, so we hired Dutch legal counsel, looked at a recent study into loot boxes published by the Kansspelautoriteit, and learned more about Dutch law. We still don't understand or agree with the Kansspelautoriteit legal conclusion, and we responded to explain more about CSGO and Dota 2. In the meantime, we have a threat from the Kansspelautoriteit to prosecute Valve if we don't implement a remedy by June 20th. The letters don't tell us how to do that, but the study into loot boxes does contain one rather simplistic statement. Loot boxes contravene the law if the in-game goods from the loot boxes are transferable. Loot boxes do not contravene the law if the in-game goods from the loot boxes are not transferable. So, for now, our only practical alternative is to disable trading and Steam Marketplace transfers for CSGO and Dota 2 items for Dutch customers. We apologize to you for this inconvenience. We hope that after more engagement with the Kansspelautoriteit, we may refine their legal demands and we can find a solution that is less inconvenient. Yeah. Essentially, if you don't understand what Valve is saying here, is that, well, we had to cancel it, otherwise they could like ban our games and put us under threat of some legal action. So that might sound like a very good thing for anybody who knows my own personal opinions about loot boxes, which are very negative. The problem here is I don't see the real problem being that you can get money for loot boxes. In my personal view, the bigger problem are the psychological impacts on loot boxes, especially on minors and even like small children who just aren't yet psychologically capable of handling and dealing with such a process. Because, let's face it, loot boxes are essentially slot machines. We all know that. We just cover our eyes and look the other way because, well, that's just the way it is, at least at the moment in the current gaming industry. What I hope will happen in the future is that actually the Netherlands Gaming Authority will take a deeper look into the psychological effects of loot boxes and not only deem them illegal if they are transferable or contain any sort of currency transfer, but also if they're introduced to minors. I really don't want loot boxes just to go away, but I want them regulated, and this is coming from a person who prefers the free market. The problem is, and I know this is one of the oldest arguments and it's almost a fallacy, think of the children, but yeah, we actually do need to think of the children. A large portion of today's youth is playing video games. We really know that, and it's just a fact. And the fact that they are exposed to such, I'm actually willing to use the predatory tactics by gaming companies, whether it's publishers, developers, it doesn't matter, is a bad thing, and we need to find solutions for this. It's the same reason why we regulate the sale of alcohol, why we regulate who actually is capable of going gambling. Because minors, and especially young children, are just not mentally there yet. And this might sound like I'm trying to say that children are stupider than adults, and they are not. Intelligence has nothing to do with this. It is just about the mental development of the brain. And the brain actually develops for a significant amount of times in us humans. It takes, I think, about 25 years, but we decided that, at least here in the Czech Republic, that at the point of 18 years old, you are deemed that your mental development is far enough for you to be able to make these sort of decisions. I'm not sure if 18 is an ideal age. There's probably a different ideal age for every sort of person, but it would rather complicate things. We tried to introduce sort of a mental acuity test, I guess, and then there will be people who are like 30 who are, well, not able to make these sort of decisions. Well, maybe some of them would actually benefit from this, but yeah, that goes against the spirit of being free. But on the other hand, we do know that vast majority of people who are younger just aren't mentally there yet. And we decided at the age when we deem them, on average, capable of making such decisions is 18. Or in other countries, maybe 17. I'm not sure if in America it's 21. I do know that it's for alcohol there, but I would guess that for the most part it will be for gambling as well. So I'm hoping that in the future more countries will actually realize that if you want loot boxes in your games, it will be rated only for adults. Okay, and moving on to our last piece of news for today, let's talk about something an ex-Sony CEO said about the disabling of PlayStation, of the fact that the PlayStation Network disables crossplay and account linking between the PlayStation Network and the Nintendo Network for Fortnite. So if you don't know what this is about, just go a few days back. It's essentially a story that, you know, on E3, Fortnite was officially released for the Nintendo Switch, but some players, more specifically players who also play on their PlayStation 4, discovered that they cannot play with their account on the Nintendo Switch if it is already linked to the PlayStation. And why? This is what the Sony CEO or ex-Sony CEO actually tells us. And many of you, including me for this time once, have actually deduced the reason already. It is money. So he said, when I was at Sony, the stated reason internally for this was money. They didn't like someone buying something on Xbox and it being used on PlayStation. Simple as that. Dumb reason, but there it is. You need to remember at this point, Fortnite was not available on the Switch. But it just means that if your PlayStation or your Fortnite account is linked to the PlayStation Network, it means it cannot be linked to any other console platform. And yeah, it was fairly obvious to me. Like, why else would they do it? They want you to play Fortnite on PlayStation. And likely when you buy something, when you're playing in Fortnite on PlayStation, they get a cut from it. Thus, it makes sort of business sense to make people who play on other platforms have their own separate account. So if they want to buy stuff, they need to make another account, and thus making it more likely that they will stick with playing on the PlayStation, especially if they already invested some money into their account. On the other hand, as the ex-Sony CEO says, it is a super fucking dumb reason. By the way, the ex-CEO's name is, where is his name? Smedley. I don't see, John Smedley. So, yeah, it's pretty obvious. Hopefully, Sony will be forced to abandon this practice just due to peer pressure from the point of gamers who are pissed about it. And rightfully so. This is a free game. It's not a game you buy specifically for PlayStation. And in general, it has been the case that you can use accounts on many different devices. That's why you create an account, so you can use it on different devices. Otherwise, if you couldn't use it on different devices, you wouldn't really need an account. It would just be linked to that one copy of the game. Sony, wake up. You're living in the past. This is not anymore the time when you are the leader of the console industry. Right now, it is actually the Switch. And Epic, you need to exercise your power as well. Because if you say, you know what? We will not support Fortnite or any other games based on the Epic Unreal Engine on the PlayStation, Sony will buckle. Do it. You need to do it right now. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. If you're watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow for more gaming news is coming, as we are your source of daily gaming news every single day. See you guys later with more gaming content.